All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the live well this Thursday night. Man, that music makes me just want to run through a wall. Like I get pumped up every time we hear that thing. So glad you guys could join us tonight. Got a great show in store for you. Let me pull up the chat. Some of you guys are already here. We got Kevin Underwood with Lipsticker Fishing, one of our fine partners as well. But we're gonna pick his brain because he knows exactly what's going on Lake Lanier, and that will translate to all these other highland reservoirs that we got here in the state of Georgia. So we look forward to getting into his brain. So hey, Kevin's there. We got Father Time in the house, Tim McGuire up there. Let me go ahead and take care of a little bit of business. All right, a little bit of business. Got a couple of benefit tournaments going on. I want you guys to participate in these if you can. All right, and the first one we got right here. Let's see. There we go. Real Strong for Shane Striper Fishing Tournament. It's a benefit for Shane Henson. Was in a car wreck. He's a Dawson County cop. Great people, great family. I've known him forever. It is going to be April 25th. Okay, April 25th. If you want more information, 404-536-8702. That's Jason Watkins' number. Or you can call Jamie Watkins at 770-480-1648. And I'm telling you, listen, even if you don't like striper fishing, go. This is a great, great cause for very, very good people. And we are hoping the best for Shane. I know I follow his updates daily, and he is getting better. It's going to be a long haul, though, guys, long haul. Also, we got Fishing for Pawpaw. Fishers of Hope's putting this one on War Hill, at War Hill, on Lake Lanier, May 2nd. And again, this is for a gentleman who is dealing with some medical issues. And this is what Fishers of Hope, this is what they do. And they throw a great tournament. Hey, some of us podcast guys are going to be out there again. We want you to come fish against us. And but again, this is a community building event as well. We like to rally around people, and this is a perfect one. Tony Watkins, you want to go ahead and register 706-897-7557, or you can get Ryan Sheffield 706-429-2010. And then I'm going to be pounding this until it happens, guys. Father's Day weekend, the Georgia Outdoor Festival and Expo. You see it up there. Hey, listen, this is going to be everything. This is going to be everything. Art, outdoor art, hiking, camping, hunting, fishing. There'll be live music, food trucks and vendors and all that. It's going to be a good time. June 20th and 21st at Veterans Park in Cherokee County. It's not too far south of here. If you are a bait company, a small bait manufacturer, or you have a business that's related to the outdoors, guide business, whatever, and you want to be a vendor, get in contact with me and I can get you 25% off of your regular vendor fee. He wants Black Sheep Productions is doing this with Cherokee County Park and Rec. They want to make it eventually the biggest outdoor expo in North Georgia, and they're well on their way. So they want to pack that place. I promise you it's going to be a good, good time. So now that I've taken care of business, let's bring the guys back in. All you guys in the comment section, how you guys doing? Now, Mr. Underwood, how are you, sir?
Good.
It's a little bit different doing this than coming to the shop, ain't it?
Yeah, y'all still cracking up though, acting bad, man.
Acting the fool. He got to partake in the pre-show ritual talk that we have. He come in about the right time. So
yeah, get on there like, what's going on? What?
Yeah. Listen, I turned it on, or Tim popped on when I was doing it. He's getting spanked, and Kevin had his better half on there. And we just had some fun with it. That's the way we roll. So anyway, you guys listen in the comment section. You guys on TikTok as well. If you want to know about these highland reservoirs, what these spots and largemouth are doing, hey, let's absolutely throw it out there. And I got to bring Tim back in real quick.
Where do you see the comments?
You don't see the comments on your side? I don't exactly know how to do it on your side. Let's see. I got two. Okay, I got to get rid of one Tim.
Do you have chat down there in the right-hand corner, Kevin?
There we go.
Oh, okay.
Click on that.
There's private chat, and then it says chat. Help.
Just hit chat.
Yeah, we don't want to do no private chats.
Yeah,
we get in trouble on them private chats.
We already got enough of that before the show.
I'll tell you what. Now, listen, guys. Hey, listen. Let's go ahead and set the stage. We were talking about this before the show as well. But if you paid attention and you seen Kevin's Lipsticker Fishing, okay, that's his guide service. If you've seen his post for today, guys, I'm gonna pull up a picture. I want you to look at this picture. First of all, him and his clients, they wax their asses today. All right, let's pull this picture up right there. You see Kevin and one of his clients. Look at that picture right there, guys. Now, They had, according to the Bubba scales, over 109 pounds today on Lake Lanier. Plus, Kevin said a couple of fish that they did not weigh in, so it could have got up to 113, 114 pounds. Needless to say, the fish are biting. So, Kevin, tell us a little bit about today, and then we'll start picking your brain on just what in the world you were doing.
Targeting herring eaters around herring holes. We had a little herring spawn going on, a little threadfin shad spawn going on, and the last couple of days it's kind of backed them off a little bit. And some of them, it's the fish are still around them areas, but they're not like. Sometimes some of the holes are active, some of them are not, and then one day you got them. We're seeing some of the first waves of really the herring spawn really kicking off, and
Okay.
it's kind of like fish spawning. It's just yo-yos, and that this week or the last couple of weeks, we've seen them actually up on one of the bridges at the north end of the lake. Before, we had let's see, when was it? A couple of weeks ago, we had that super cold burst come in here, and we got back down to we had like some 28-degree nights and some 40-degree days. Actually, before that, there was a bridge up on the north end of the lake. Man, them herring, and they were right there in the zone. I'm sitting there, I'm watching them, I'm throwing up there. I'm like, man, let's see if they follow our baits back. It was a little early for it, but that particular bridge is usually the first place you will see a herring spawn. And I'm like, man, they're really like around this bridge. They're in the zone. And we caught a lot of big fish off of it. And then we had that frontal system come through, and within a day, everything was gone. And now we're past that. 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, temps are getting back right. You're getting some of those herring in those areas again. If they're not up there actively spawning, a lot of times they're sitting like right out there around that stuff. And of course, the fish are with them. It looks like it's going to be a good season as far as and I'm saying that in relation to what our fish look like. So we've already got post-spawn fish from like the couple of waves ago. I think we've had like 3 or 4 waves of fish already spawn. And now we've got fish that are recovered, starting to pack weight back on. We've got, we still got plenty of fish in their spawning process right now. And we've got a lot of those pre-spawn fish that are still big, fat, ain't even moved up yet. And so we can catch a lot of fish. We can catch big fish and good quality. It looks like this year to me is a lot better already on the herring spawn than what last year was. Just an observation for the season,
Yeah, no, that's absolutely awesome, because we had Ryan on, Ryan Sheffield on Tuesday. No, yeah, Ryan was on Tuesday. We were talking about the different spawns and the herring spawn, and some of the guys, I started seeing it, started reporting it on the social media and everything about a week and a half ago. And I was telling them the other night that normally, I went back and looked, normally we don't do a herring spawn episode until getting a little bit closer to May, if not in May. So is it a little early this year, or has it always been like this and we just don't really see the main wave of it until like May?
So I think now a lot too. You got so many eyes on the water now. We've seen bedfish really, really early. We've caught fish for beds as early as mid-February. It just depends on the season. And you've got a lot more eyes on that stuff now. So people see a lot more. You've got a lot of guides out there that see a lot of stuff. People on the water a lot more. You see a lot of stuff. I think it gets noticed a lot more now than it did in years past. And you're really starting to see a lot of stuff getting picked apart too, really, really early. As soon as it comes up there, for me, I'm watching early, I'm looking early. A lot of times I show up and look at stuff early just to see where things are at in relation to where they're going to spawn. I've always believed that, hey, the first fish that lead a seasonal movement, whether it be, hey, the first fish that get on bed, hey, some of the biggest fish you're going to catch all year. First fish that get out, on the herring holes, on the threadfin spawns. Those are going to be some of the fish that's leading those seasonal movements. And to me, I feel like, hey, I'm going to catch big fish if I can stay in front of those fish. I've always kind of tried to pattern fish that way. Even anywhere I go, we fished BFL just a little bit ago down here at Sinclair. It's like 2 weeks ago. So I was really trying to dial in. I was trying to figure out, hey, where's the post spawn fish at? Where's those pre-spawn fish at? And there was sections of the lake all I could get bit on was post spawn fish. And now I'm like, well, I'm gonna keep plugging around. And then I found a section of the lake. Man, these fish ain't moved up yet. They're still pre-spawn. And those are the ones I started with in that tournament. And I actually I didn't land a fish. I didn't even mean to hook the fish. And I was like, oh my God, that's a big one. That's like a 6 something. I had it right up next to the boat. I had my hand on her. Hook fell out of her mouth and I dropped her. And I'm telling you, she was like 6+. But that fish right there was a key thing in kind of telling me, hey, what area of the lake do I need to target? And I was able to go back to that same area and I got a big bite down there that really helped, get me a check. I had 4 good fish and then I had one little rat down there I never could get rid of. But that little rat cost me getting on up there and getting a better check than what I did, but I did get a check. So it was a fun tournament. I always enjoy going down there and fishing, Oconee and Sinclair. You just turn the live scope off and just, try to pattern fish. A lot of them fish down there, you can't see them on live scopes. Kind of like right now on Lanier with all the pollen. You can't see them fish up there if they're up there shallow, But yeah, so I mean, that's a thought process I always have, especially this time of the years. Where can you get that thicker, healthier pre-spawn fish?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, and a lot of guys will relate this on a lot of different lakes, but on Lanier specifically, do you see the herring spawn and the actual spawn start on the north end and work its way south, or is it just pops up all over the place?
So I'll give you some juice right here. One thing that has been a key deal, and it was a key deal today, and I think it was kind of so just to talk, my last 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, I did my live show yesterday. I was like, man, I'm on the suck butt show today, man. I was on the suck butt show yesterday. and I'm telling you, hey, I throw it out there. Hey, whatever happens, happens. I do it at different times of the day. I go for 2 hours on the show. I don't know what we're going to do. It's live, man. We're going to fish for them right now. We're going to go try to put something together. And, I don't always just pull up to the honey hole. I go out there, hey, look, we're going to break down this creek today. We're just going to start. We're going to break down this creek. Hey, so I go out there yesterday and with the wind and stuff, I'm like, well, I'm going to start my show right there around that 9 o'clock time frame when that wind's ripping the most. And I'm sure if anybody's on here that watched it, they were probably like, good God, he's got like waves coming over the front of the boat. It was like ripping. And I was like, man, I'm going to go right out here in the middle of this stuff. These fish are up here around these herring holes. I'm going to go out here. I'm going to throw the bite-sized herring up there, and I'm going to whack them. But guess what? That didn't happen. Hey, I went up there. I threw around. I'm like, man, I got fish jumping over my lure, kind of nipping at it. Man, they are just not getting this stuff. Then I ended up catching one fish on the show, and dadgum, man, I had a 4.5-pound fish jump over it, and I come back with this little rat. He's like 2.5 pounds. I come back with this little rat. I'm like, man, that just sucks. And then throughout the day, we went to a different area of the lake. I had a client after I did the show. So me and my client, I'm like, let's not go down there. That down there sucks, man. Let's go up here and check. And we were actually able to catch a pretty good bag. We caught between 17, 18 pounds, half day after I went on the suck butt show for a little while. And it was tough, man. It was tough. And again today, we kind of dabbled in different watercolors, okay, and the watercolor had a little bit more stain to it. Hey, once you got down below that certain amount of stain, you didn't catch big ones and you didn't get bit. Now, there's probably a different phase that them fish are in that I have not patterned them fish down there to really figure them out exactly. Hey, where do I need to go? What do I need to do here to get a bigger bite? Because I've been fishing in that stained water.
Mhm.
So it's a little different depending on what area of the lake you are. But if you get down below that stained water right now, man, it's like the bite changes. The bite changes. I mean, we were in a certain area of the lake today, and dude, we were going back to back cast on 4-pounders. I was like, what's that one there? Man, we had the live well, and I was trying to weigh fish and trying to figure out what we had, and that's why we're holding up like all them fish. Dude, all them fish were caught like bam, 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 bam. I'm like, God, this is insane today. We were going back to back cast on them. My clients are throwing fish at me like, here's another, here's another, here's another. I'm just like, flip him up here, and I'm trying to weigh the fish to see what we got. Man, it was insane today, man.
That is awesome. And listen, as a client, you know that
Dude,
the happy.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a fun day.
Well, we need one of those May 2nd, Tim. We need that day.
I might come fish with y'all. I was invited.
Well, come fish. You should.
Fish for y'all. If I ain't got nothing else going on.
You should. Everybody should if they can. And of course, now I do see right there Memphis, our new buddy. He says, "Hey, Danny, I got a tournament on Lanier April 19th, but sadly, I don't think I can fish it. Just got hernia surgery." Man, that's all. I hate that, buddy. Ooh. Hey, well, listen, you're young. You got time. Let's go ahead and jump on Eric, our first question of the night, fishing related. And Kevin, you start, and you guys can jump in right here. What is the best way to break down a highland reservoir this time of year quickly? What are you targeting? Are you looking at depth first, structure? You get to the lake. What are you doing?
All right, thanks, babe. Hey, you want a good little tidbit right now with what's going on? Birds. Yeah. You want the quickest way to break down the lake? Birds. Watch the birds.
Because that's
right now you could just, especially if you get out there low light conditions. Hey, threadfin are spawning too. I don't think they did today or yesterday because the temps kind of dipped off. We kind of dipped off on our temps the last couple of days.
Right.
But Monday, them threadfin were up there on them rocky. Like I was in, like that, I caught that big striper the other day. Oh my God, that was insane.
How big?
39 pounds. That's the biggest one I've ever caught in my life.
Oh, Lanier.
Lanier, yes. It was on Lake Lanier. 39 pounds. On my Bubba scale, he weighed. And I'm sitting there trying to weigh him. I'm like, dang, I'm trying to hold the camera and video it. And it's like, God dang, it's like right there at 39 pounds, dude. And I'll be honest with you, that I think I can't remember what years it was, but somebody put a 50-pound bounty out years ago. I don't remember exactly who it was or what it was, that how you collected it or whatever, but I've heard over the years that at one point in time there was a 50-pound bounty on a striper, for Lake Lanier. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I would not be surprised if there's not a 50-pounder out there now. Just some of the things you see out there. I mean, Lanier is a healthy fishery. I mean, look at the bass that we caught today. Mm-hmm. That place is healthy, man. It's got the food source. It's got the water quality. I honestly think it could grow one. It's definitely something that we really need to, take care of.
Yeah, absolutely.
As fishermen and as a community.
Yeah, for sure. Now let me ask you, what'd you catch that striper on?
Fluke.
So you got 39-pound striper on a fluke.
Yep. Had a 10-pound braid, 12-pound fluoro, and so again, that fish was on a threadfin spawn. I got in an area kind of like where we were at today, but I was on the back side of a tree line, and the sun was kind of sort of coming up. It was still low light conditions, and I had a shade line down a rocky bluff. And I'm like, man, threadfin's over there spawning, herrings over here spawning. There's fish everywhere. And I'm like, good God, let me just go up here. I done went back-to-back cast on some spots. I had caught like a 20-pound bag right there, back-to-back cast. And it was insane. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, this thread fin up there on the bank. Now I'm like, I ain't really got no spinnerbait or nothing to throw at that. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna throw that fluke up there at that. And then I fished down a little section there was like some steeper bluff, and then it kind of come up onto a point, and like right there on that little transition spot where you had that deeper water coming up onto that point, like right there. I threw that fluke right there, and I just seen the water cave in. Like when something moves in the water, you know how the water displaces?
Like a toilet bowl.
Yeah, it just caves in, and then all of a sudden my bait's like running off the end. I thought it was a largemouth that hit it at first, but then when it run off the end of the point, I'm like, oh man, there ain't no way. Like, what the heck is this? And I'm like, I'm up there, and it like goes, and he run across a clean point, and luckily on a clean point he wore himself out, because if that fish had made it to the timber, there's no way in the world I would have got that fish out. And I'm sure probably some people, hey, I just lucked up because he run across something clean, and I took my boat when he ran across it. I took my boat, my trolling motor, and I chased him. And he just run out there to where it was clean. He didn't have nothing to run under or get in, didn't get in the timber, and I was able to kind of, he kind of tired himself out running across that clean bottom, and then I was able to bring him in. If he, like I said, if he'd have run through something or in something, ain't no way I would have got that fish in.
All right, let's take a step back here. 10-pound braid.
Yeah.
12-pound fluoro.
Mm-hmm.
39-pound striper.
Yep.
What not?
What not?
What not?
Hey, so I show my guys on my Patreon. I kind of got a slick little deal that I do with a nose hook fluke and a snell knot, and it kind of, when they hit it, it kind of rolls that knot.
Yeah.
Rolls the knot, rolls the hook. It, if they're trying to eat a herring, they're going to eat the head first. So I really like putting that hook up there on the front side of that bait. I know a lot of guys, they like to rig it, old school Texas style. Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with that. I think a lot of times you might miss some fish with that, even when they are trying to eat it, but that nose hook deal, man, you don't miss very many with that if they're really trying to eat it. They eat that thing head first. How many bass do you look in their mouth? You see a head looking at you versus the tail in the throat. You see what I'm saying? So they eat that thing head first. And to me, the side I put the hook in, when that fluke's moving forward, that represents the head on that thing. So when they really want to eat it, they're going to get the head of that, and they're going to have it pie holed in there. When that little snell knot tied on that hook rolls, and normally they're like in the side of the mouth or roof of the mouth or somewhere in there,
Here's what I love. Like, we just got that little juicy tidbit, Tim and Kevin. I just want to know what your knot was from your braid to fluoro.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you wanted to know the setup, but
I love that too.
I don't know if that one had an FG knot. That FG knot tool, I bought one of those tools. I've been playing around with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to see, hey, how much. Hey, I'll be honest with you. I've always tied the FG knot. I wrap the braid around my finger, and then I do all of my wraps, and then I pull it. And, but when it's out there and it's really, really windy, it's like, man, I'm just going to tie an Alberto knot on that thing. But that's what I was using, either FG knot or Alberto knot. I'm not sure exactly which one it was on there. It was either one or the other, because there's a few rods that I got on the boat where I've tied that FG knot with that tool. That tool's pretty good, too. It's solid, especially in the wind.
Tim, don't Alex have one of those? Don't he talk about that?
Cool.
He did buy one.
Yeah.
I don't know if he ever said he figured out how to work it, or he didn't report back on that. We'll have to gig him on that.
He's trying to keep you out of juice.
That's right, it is. He'll be like, man, that thing ain't no good. Don't buy it.
Yeah.
But I like that. I just want to know what your braid to fluoro knot was, and we got this whole damn.
Is it FG knot? Well, I just don't tell you the rig that I was on, that I had it on.
I love it. Okay, but real quick, back to now. You said the birds. That's how you break them down quick. Now, Tim,
that's quickest way right now.
Okay, so You know, and I imagine Kevin Alatoona is probably the same way. But Tim, when you get over there, like on the Coosa and all that,
Yeah.
Brushy Branch and all that dirty ass water you guys fish over there, do you have the birds like we do here?
Sometimes.
Okay,
Yeah. I mean, you'll see them sometimes, but they're not like on the Highland reservoirs.
okay.
All those fish over there in mud, they're going to be on structure somewhere
You
because they
got the
can't see far.
you got what Ryan calls Fred. What's that thing that just walks the bank and looks for bait?
Oh, blue herring.
Blue hair, yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
blue heron,
Fred. That's what Ryan calls them. All right,
Fred and Gertrude.
that's right. Them things make a god awful noise too when you spook them.
They'll scare the bejesus out of you if they're like behind you, you don't see them.
I had one hit me over here at Latham the other day, and he was so not the other day, last year. He was so loud the turkey started gobbling up on the hill because that
Set the
thing.
gobblers off.
It did. All right, guys. I know you got. We get to talking. I know I'm behind on the comments. I'll catch up with you. So let's get this question. Kevin, do you ever throw a swim jig? I'm considering having one at West Point this weekend. He's got a tournament down there. If I run across a shad spawn, so do you throw a swim jig? And if not, and we're talking specifically at a shad spawn, and if you do not, what do you throw?
Yeah, I would throw at a shad spawn, at like a threadfin shad spawn. I'd throw that swim jig up there. Maybe pair it up with something. Oh gosh, you could pair it up with like a mare. You could pair it up with you could pair it up with a K-Tech. Just try to whatever size bait, which I would assume if you got threadfin spawning, you're probably looking at that 3 to that 4 inch threadfin, sizable shad that's going to be up there spawning. I would keep my profile around that, that 3.5, 4.5 inch profile. A K-Tech, just see, you have to feel your fish out, man. K-Tech, it'll kind of fall a little faster. You can take like something like a cross style and turn it horizontal like this, and it'll kind of float it up there a little bit. It'll kind of glide down. It'll kind of hang in the water column a little bit, or you could turn it sideways and drop it quick. So you just have to see what they're biting, man. Sometimes they'll bite them cross style things a little better. Sometimes they want that paddle tail deal. Just something you gotta fill out, with that kind of deal. And I would try to get up there and dig it in whatever. I mean, try to parallel it if you can, and run it right down the edge of it. Spinnerbait be another thing I'd throw at them. Chatterbait would be another thing I'd throw at them. That would be my 3, either swim jig, chatterbait, spinnerbait. That would be my 3 right there.
Okay.
If I was going to add anything else to that, if you were getting them to hit a top water, maybe a buzz bait or, maybe like a spook style thing, but keep the profile, matching that 3.5 to that 4, no bigger than 4.5 for sure. If 4.5. I don't know how to even go 4.5. I'd keep that profile right there around that 3.5 to 4 inch.
Gotcha. And Kevin, listen, while he was talking, I was thinking about you because I asked Tim, about that cruddy water he fishes over there. But you're from Okeechobee. Did you guys get birds down there as well, or like pelicans or
birds.
whatever?
Birds everywhere on the Kissimmee chain, Okeechobee, yes.
And were you able to like do what Kevin's talking about though? Say, okay, the birds are active right here. There's bait.
We followed the birds, yeah.
Okay, all right.
See them in the morning when you went out.
Okay.
So you got birds I wouldn't worry too much about. Them daggone hiked up seagulls out there, man. Them things, don't worry about them seagulls. I wouldn't even worry about the loons either. Don't even worry about the seagulls and loons. They're out. Hey, there's really 2 birds I'd be looking for. I'd be looking for a condor, which is that black bird that sits on the poles. He's out there. He flies away and he looks really funny. You kind of probably laugh at him because he's like got these weird feet movements as he flies away. Funny looking bird. But I tell you right now, that bird's always sitting around fish that will bite and that will make your tournament bag a lot better. I look for that bird. I'd look for the herring especially because threadfin are going to be more, in my opinion, they're going to be more bank related.
Mm-hmm.
Herring deal is, dude, a herring can be anywhere, any kind of hard structure. It's just hard structure. Hey, there's a big rock out there in the middle of the lake. They're on it. Hey, there's a bridge. They're on it. Hey, whatever, seawall, they're on it. Bottom of a boat, they're on it. Threadfin, I tend to kind of get in on them more bank related stuff.
Okay.
Rip route, rock on the bank, bluff rock on the bank. Not to say that they won't spawn on, hard structure that's offshore, but I don't never really look for those types of things going on, like really, really offshore kind of places. I tend to look for that stuff more up on the bank than I do anywhere else.
And that's where you see that heron walking the bank and all
Yes,
that.
that herring is a big deal for that.
Okay.
Hey, so when I went to Sinclair down there, I actually did 2 practice days down there, and my first day down there, I wanted to get down there super, super early. I said, oh, man, I won't be there as soon as that sun breaks over. I won't be on the water at dark. I'll put my boat lights on, and I want to be over there on a good stretch where if there was a shad spawn going on, I'll see it. So I get out there, and I just start riding down a stretch up the river, and I'm watching the bank, and I'm like, man, there's a seawall right there that's got 3 dadgum herring sitting up there on it. I'm like, there's a seawall right there. It's got 3 herring on that wall. Hey, I'm gonna pull up here. I'm gonna get my swim jig. I'm gonna get my spinner bait out, my chatterbait out. Hey, I'm gonna look right there at that wall. So right there where I put my boat down, I'm looking at live scope. As soon as I drop the trolling motor in the water, it's just bait fish like everywhere, right? But they're out. They're there, but they're out away from that stuff. They're all under my boat. And I'm sitting there watching these birds looking into the water, and there's no bait up there in front of them. They're just picking around whatever they can eat off the side of the wall or whatever. I've seen them eat snakes, brim, whatever's up there. But it wasn't a shad spawn deal. But now you can like why I started doing that. I wanted to answer my question is, are the shad spawning right now at that lake? And again, if I was to go to West Point, I would get there super, super early on your practice day. And I would ride around and I would look for them birds and see where them birds are sitting and just check on it. And chances are, if it's leading up to your tournament day and you're going to have consistent weather trend, chances are you're going to go up there and it's going to happen again. If it's happening that day, it's going to happen on your tournament day too. And if you're there and you can get there and you can capitalize on that shad spawn, hey, sometimes when that's going on, that is your opportunity to catch those fish. And then the rest of the day is a grind.
Yeah, I like that. But Tim and Kevin, like we've talked to, and I'm talking about the Father Time up there. We talk about Fred, the herons every once in a while. But what was that other bird? What the hell did you call it? A condor?
Yeah, that blackbird.
That blackbird.
He's like a funny looking duck.
Okay, we ain't talked about that one.
Duck.
I don't think we've ever talked about that one, but I am.
Oh, we got all right then. My lips are sealed.
No, throw it out here. Because everybody looks, and I'll tell you this, especially those that aren't in the know, they look at those seagulls.
Yeah, I don't really. Them birds, you can have them birds right now, man. Them birds are pretty good in the wintertime with the loons. We passed that, man. Them birds, they can just go on and leave. Just go back to wherever. Yeah, get out of here. Go on back to wherever you came from.
I got it. I like it.
Yeah. Hey, have y'all ever seen, just talking about birds right quick, y'all ever seen the white pelicans on Lanier?
I have not.
Hey, so we had white pelicans on the lake. Let's see, what day was it? They kind of use our lake as one of them we're just passing through kind of areas where they fly. I'm not exact. I think they are out west. But over the last couple of years, we've had white pelicans show up on Lanier. Really cool looking to see them. You're looking out there and you're like, man, what in the world is that out there? They're like, is that a bunch of white swans or whatever it is? Then you get out there a little closer to them, you see them flying away. They look like albino pelicans. They're white pelicans. They're not supposed to be here. All right. Gotcha. They're not supposed to be here. But over the last couple of years, they kind of use our lake as a passing through kind of place.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll be here for a few days. And, sometimes you'll see a bunch of them. Sometimes you'll just see a handful of them. We seen some over by Shady Grove the other day.
Okay.
Probably 50 or 60 of them, big wad of them over there.
I have not seen
Pretty
it.
cool looking deal.
Yeah, I bet so. I did see a thing on Facebook though earlier today about the bird migration, and like this week is all
Yeah,
like,
cormorants. That's them. I said it wrong. I don't know why I said condors. Cormorant. That's it.
oh, okay. So somebody
Black
Yeah,
got
they
cormorant.
look like
That's
a
it.
black goose.
Yeah, they're the funny looking bird. I
water
said it
turkey.
wrong. I call them condors. I've
Well,
been calling them that for a while too. I was like, what's this we talking about?
hey, listen,
Cormorant. That's right.
I was going with you, but I was sitting there thinking to myself, like, I ain't never seen a damn condor on Lanier. I didn't know what you're talking about.
Lake
Tyler,
Weiss had a whole Facebook page dedicated because people were so ticked off because they were absolutely laying waste to bait fish and small game fish over there on Weiss.
yeah, they'll do it. They absolutely do it. Now, first of all, congratulations to Tyler Shelnut because he popped his PB largemouth on Lake Lanier. I want to say this past weekend, earlier in the week or whatever. It was over 7. I don't remember exactly what it was. Yeah, it was a good one. You mentioned earlier about going to herring holes, and he wanted to know, and again, I'm way behind on all these questions, but he wanted to know what deems it a herring hole. What are you looking for?
I call it a herring hole. I'm just talking about a herring hole where herring spawn. Herring spawn there. That's why I'm calling it a herring hole.
So kind of like a blow through, like where in the past they've spawned or something like that.
And it's different this year. It's different this year.
Okay. Is that because the lake's down?
Yeah. Yeah. Just like the fish spawning. They've been in weird places. You know, we catch them some of the backs of these bays and stuff, these spawning bays, they'll be back there. Man, I was with a fella one day last week, and he had a tournament coming up. He was asking me about, bedfish. I was like, well, let's just go look right over here. And a really, really unprotected, normally, so here's the pocket they normally spawn in, right? It's don't have any water in it. And then over here is like a little pocket kind of off to the side. Well, in about 7 feet of water, there's a bed right there. You can't even hardly see it. And I was really worried about, man, if his legs don't get up, man, these fish ain't gonna have nothing, man. People ain't gonna catch them. But I honestly think it's a good thing. Let me tell you why. Because the fish ain't moving into where they're so predictable. They're using stuff that they ain't nobody even thinking about them spawning on. I think they're actually gonna have a good spawn this year because people ain't catching them. People are catching bedfish. People are going to catch bedfish. But, dude, I'm seeing a huge population of fish. You can't go up there and sight fish them like you can. Oh, man, there's one up there on the bank. Go up there and get him. Let's go catch him. I think they're going to have a good spawn this year just because people can't really spot them fish down there in the water. Now, there are ways to do it. I actually did it on my live show to where I took a search bait, had a fish roll up off of a bed on it that I couldn't see, but I knew it was on a bed. And then I went back and I caught that fish on the live show. And now, I couldn't see the fish either because the sun was down behind the trees and the wind was blowing in there on me like crazy. But I caught that one. I caught a largemouth off of that bed. And I thought I was fishing because I saw her roll up at what I was throwing at her a couple of times. I was like, that's a female right there. I think she's about 3.5, 4 pounds. And I was going to catch it. That was the only one I was going to catch on my live show, and then I wasn't going to do another one. That's what I did. I didn't do another one.
Right.
But I caught that fish, and that fish that I saw ended up being the male, and a daggone 7-pounder comes out at me when I catch him, and I'm like, God, there's a big sucker right there. And I threw him in the live well, and I got my little jig and flipped on her. She rolled at it. I thought I was going to catch her too, and she rolled on that jig and then went back down. I couldn't see her, and I made a couple more casts up there where the bed was, but I kind of had a lineup on where the bed was when they rolled up on my search bait. So there are ways to do it, but man, trying to spot them fish out there when they're out there in that little bit deeper water, and normally you got some ripple on the water, it's really hard to see some of them fish where they're using their bedding areas now.
Yeah, I got you on that.
Yeah.
Tim and Kevin, did you guys on Notley? Did you guys actually see any like beds? Because Rob and I might have fished one, but we didn't see them like where you normally would see them, and that lake's down a lot too. They might have been off a little bit deeper, like what Kevin's saying.
you catch
That's
them
what I
on
was
top water
thinking,
or
'cause
something like that, and get them to come up and hit a top water or a whopper plopper or a buzz bait or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's how we caught them. That's how
Okay,
Rob
well,
caught them.
we
I
went
ain't swimming
straight to the
fast,
back
that's
of the
no
creek
skill.
looking for it, and then kind of worked our way back out. We didn't catch fish till we got on back out away from the little flat in the back of that creek.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We did too, Tim.
is that where it was at? I know we talked about this Tuesday night. Like Rob pulled out a popper, and that's how he was able
Yeah.
to catch some of them. And I mean, just it was stupid. It was so much fun. On that striper, real quick, what rod were you using?
Gosh, mighty, I was using it was give me a minute. It was a Dobbins Extreme, whatever custom. It's really for like I use that rod a lot for heavier minnowing, like when fish are really, really deep in the wintertime. That's why I have that rod, and I've got a Revo Rocket on it, spinning reel, and I use that rod for like when fish are super deep in the timber, 60, 70 foot in the timber, and I'll use a 5/8 jig head on like a fluke, and just you're down there minnowing through the timber.
Mhm.
I use that rod for that, but I really like throwing a fluke on that rod as well, and I like having that Revo Rocket for that fluke.
I've
That's
seen
what I
you.
was using.
Yeah, I've seen you throw those flukes down there in that timber and all that. Hey, let me ask this before I get to Messick's question. Kevin, you're going to Alatoona tomorrow. Now you've heard some of the stuff he's talking about. Are you expecting to be able to, now that you've heard Kevin say this is what they're doing on Lanier, do you think you can replicate some of that, or you're going to see some of the same things like the shad spawn, the herring spawn, the fish sitting kind of off, not bedding up? What are you expecting?
I don't know what to expect going. That's the first time I've been out in a while, but I've got everything tied on. He's talking about it, except for the swim jig. I've got the fluke.
Mhm.
I got a rattle trap tied on still too, and I'll throw that spinner bait.
Yeah, I knew.
Top water. I don't know what top water is going to do right now. I'll just have to ride around and look. But I was really just going out to ride the lake because it's down 4.5 feet coming back up.
Okay, I got you like that. Tim, you fishing this weekend?
I might go over here at Rocky Mountain and see if my big girls are starting to move up. It's about time for them.
Okay, now see you, but you got gizzard shad over there.
Oh yeah, you got gizzard shads size of ball cap over there.
Yeah, so probably be a little bit different what you're going to be looking at.
Yeah, I mean that